Hey guys, it's Greg Noss. Obviously, if you're here to see me explain Ask Mr. Robot. This is a great utility to utilize if you're trying to optimize your World of Warcraft character. First thing you need to do is open up the website for Ask Mr. Robot, in which this is the main page. And again, that is askmrrobot.com. When you get to this page, you're going to go ahead and you're going to click Optimize Your Character. So go ahead and click that. Next thing you know is you come up to this page here. Now this is where you can search your character. So you put wherever you are. Of course, our guild is in USA. Choose your server and type in your character name. Then you go ahead and hit load. Then it's going to take a second to load. Now when I get to this point, it's going to explain everything that you have on this side and basically what you have over here for gems, enchants, and lastly your reforges. Then over here it's going to explain your stats total. Alright, so right now my gear is pretty much about 100% optimized according to this, but I haven't hit the optimize button, so we're about to figure that out here in a second. So what I want to do is I want to click this button right here. It says update from Armory. That way I get the latest up-to-date information on my gear and what I have in these three items here, the gems, enchants, and reforges. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the word optimize. Optimize basically goes through and it figures out how to get the closest to your, if you're melee, your hit, and expertise, and then after that, depending on your actual spec, which it detects right here, it'll actually go ahead and explain to you, how to get to basically right next to or on or slightly above your caps that you want to have for those items. Sometimes it might put you a little bit under. If you are seriously wondering why they do that, go ahead and hit this little button right here. It explains different how weights work. But the idea is to get really close, so you really just can't even tell the difference. Alright, so now we're going to deal with the actual things we have to change. As you can see here, I have several things lit in green. These are the things I have to change. So in order to read this correctly, I have my chest, this is my chest, and I have the two things. This isn't lit in green, so that means that these are okay. 80 all stats, not lit in green, that means okay. But my reforge section is lit in green. What this means is that I need to change my reforge. Now if you're curious as to what you personally have right now, you're going to see this little thing right here. It says my mods right next to optimize. You click that and it says that I have haste turn to hit. Optimize, I would have haste turn to crit. Now that's how you tell the difference between what you have and what Ask Mr. Robot says that you should have. It does that same thing with both your gems and your enchants. So that's basically how you can optimize your character. Now we can go into different things. Let's say I have blue weapons, and Dancing Steel right now on our server is about 7,000 gold. So I can click Dancing Steel, and I can actually select something else that I think would be more beneficial. Or something I can expect, like Elemental Force is really good for blues, or Wind Song, or if you're low on expertise, you could go with the Living Steel Weapon Chain. These are different options. You could do this pretty much with almost anything. It shows you the different things. Like here's for the chest, and then I can get the Shaw Armor Kit, the Super Resilience, Super Stamina. It really depends on what you personally want. I mean, you could change things, but you can see the differences over here. Now with this, let's if I went ahead and optimized these 4 reforges the way it wanted, I would lose a little bit of hit, but I would gain crit, and crit for my class is fairly good, and I'm not losing so much hit as to where it's actually having a negative effect. So all in all, this is a pretty good tool to try to basically get the most out of your character, whether it be healing, tanking, DPSing, anything you want to really do. This is a great tool to push you in that right direction. Another great thing you could do with this is, let's say I have this meter at Great Helm. It's a blue. Obviously, I want to get, a purple for that. And something that would be fairly easy for me as my level and my who I raid with and what's able for me to get. So I'm going to click that, and it actually shows me a list. Right now, I have the best blue. The next thing up would be the Nullification Great Helm, which is the Mogushan Vaults LFR. Then the the Horseman's Horrific Hood is a drop from the Headless Horseman from Scarlet Monastery. It's nowhere near October right now, so can't do that. Then let's see, the Mogushan Vaults. This is, I think, the 10-man, I believe. Terrace Endless Spring LFR. And you can basically go up these and figure out, which one it is. The number 4 one right now is actually funny because it is actually the Shadowpan Revered Valor Point Helm. So that's probably what I'm going to go for right there, because Valor Points for me are fairly decent to get, and I'm pretty close to getting Revered with Shadowpan. So that's probably where I'm going to shoot, because it is basically, it's all on me whether or not I can get it or not. I just have to get the Valor Points. I have to get the reputation. Whereas all these, I have to wait for drops. Alright. So that's how you can basically look at where your items are compared to some items that you might want to get, and how good they are for your character. You can come back up here and hit cancel. And pretty much using that idea, you can go ahead. Make sure, if you're doing raiding, that you are on your PvE spec right here on your drop down menu. And if you are doing battlegrounds or anything like that, make sure you have your PvP one. So if you have a lot of PvP gear because you're trying to get that eye level to where you can raid, or you're trying to get that eye level to where you can do heroics, make sure, because it's going to give you the default for PvP, make sure you come up here and hit PvE for environment, and go ahead and make sure it's on that, so you have the best, so it optimizes for running dungeons and doing raids. Other than that, if there's anything else you guys want me to know, or want me to go over, I'm more than welcome to go over and make more of these things. I look forward to raiding with all of you, and best of luck in your adventures in WoW.